Hi everyone, I'm Scott and I'm going to be talking to you about the project that the team, The Iconic, worked on at the Hack Day. So we picked the theme of smart cities, and there was a corporate challenge which we found was really interesting, and a lot of us had seen a little bit of this problem in real life. So we decided to work on the problem, how can IoT make public transport more accessible to people with disabilities? Cool. So today I'm going to talk you through one journey that we decided to focus on the day. And the journey is of Abe. So Abe suffers from a severe visual impairment, which causes him 3 problems when he tries to interact and use the bus system. The first one is being able to read timetables when he's at bus stops throughout the city and suburban areas. The second is hailing the buses. So he has some level of sight, but as the bus is approaching, he's not sure which one's coming and has trouble flagging it down. And the third is, once he's actually on the bus, he's very anxious about when he should get off and knowing exactly when he's approaching his stop, because there's not too much feedback for him. So we decided to solve this through the use of a connected smart bus stop and largely through a smartphone application. So now with this system, I'll talk you through the journey that Abe's going to go through. So Abe's going to arrive at a bus stop now, and there's going to be an NFC chip. He'll tap his smartphone application, and there'll be feedback to him that confirms which location he's at and give him a couple of options. So one will be to hear the timetable and the potential destinations, and the second will be to enter his destination. So the Android app we built uses accessibility features to allow him to enter his destination through voice. So once he confirms his destination, the application's going to do a couple of things. The first thing is it's going to identify to the bus driver, who also has a copy of the application, that there's a person on his route that is going to potentially need assistance in boarding. It's going to have a photo of Abe because he's pre-configured his account. And so once that's done, the driver knows that Abe's on his journey. He knows he's at his stop, so he doesn't have to, Abe no longer has to flag down the bus. The bus is going to stop for him. And leading up to the bus arriving at the stop, both of them will receive a series of notifications. So Abe will get notifications saying the bus is approaching, it'll be here in a minute or 2, you should get ready to get on board, and then as it arrives, both of them will get a notification saying this person may need assistance, and Abe, the bus is here. So it doesn't end there. Once Abe is on the bus, the driver already knows where he's going. So they'll both receive a second series of notifications. The first will be when they're approaching the stop. Abe will get a notification just letting him know he should be ready to disembark. The second notification they'll both receive is Abe needs to get off at this stop, so to help him do that. Basically what we built on the day was we had an NFC chip to use as the bus stop. We used some help from some of the partners on the day to push telemetry data up through the Sigfox network into our application. We built an Android app which speaks to retrieves the information, the timetables and such. And yeah, essentially that was our project. So we think there's a few opportunities for how this could be rolled out. We think it could integrate with existing or potentially enhance the current transport applications and systems in place. We looked at one journey, which was for someone with a visual impairment and a bus ride, but we think this could be branched out to all different types of disabilities in public transport. And lastly, this system's going to collect a lot of information, so we think that data could be used for city planning and potentially other corporate potential. Thank you.
I love it. I think it's great, and I think it solves a big problem that we've got in Australia. As a person, I've got a grandmother who's got macular degeneration disease, and she has just stopped using buses. So I think it is the future, and I hope the City of Sydney is still in the room and lots of city councils that can sit up and listen, because it solves a real problem that we have today. And I can't believe he built an Android app in one day. That's incredible. So congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah,
yeah, it was really good. I love the fact that you told it from a first-person point of view. So that journey was really, really interesting. And it's one of those things that, why don't we have it?
Yeah.
So you know, it's kind of one of these things where you look at it and you know, what's the reason for not having it already? That's always a good idea. So
I'd have to say the same thing, you know, it was just so obvious in retrospect, it's fantastic. And again, yeah, taking the whole solution from the journeyer's perspective. But you did mention something at the end, of course, which is, okay, now that you've built this, what else can it be used for? How else are you going to gather that data? You know, what is that data going to be meaningful for? What other problems can be solved by virtue of these points connecting? Have you thought more about that? Do you have any?
So we did a little bit of thinking, but we didn't get too much into it. We thought there's probably already a lot of data through the public transport systems which could be available. So I think it'd be great to just sort of work out where these people are commuting, as well as potentially making smart buses. So if one of these people has booked a journey, maybe there can be a notification on the bus to say someone's going to need this disability seat at the next stop. So that was the sort of thing where we thought we could take it a step further, but we're not really sure at this point, so we thought we'd start with something simple.
Fantastic.
Yeah, we also thought this would be really good because bus stops are typically in English. It could be used as a data point to do translation for tourism.
That's great.
There's potentially other, you know, what's going on in the area, where am I, those sort of things, which could be quite cool.
Fantastic. And you can export that globally too.
Yeah, why not?
Yeah. Why not?
Congratulations, guys. It's great.
Thank you.